Today, I'm going to show you how to create a dreamy, blurred background in Photoshop. Hey guys, welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nace. You can find me on Phlearn.com, where we make learning fun. Now, in today's episode, we're gonna help out all of you guys who are shooting children and babies and portraits and weddings and engagements. Having that beautiful blurred background is something that your clients will ask for, and we're gonna show you guys how to create this in Photoshop. Now, before we jump into Photoshop, it's important to note that this is something you can do in camera, and I recommend doing it in camera whenever possible. Now, the best way to get that done is to use a shallow aperture, shooting with a lens like a 50mm 1.4 or an 85mm 1.4 is gonna get you this effect in camera. But if you didn't have the right equipment to get this shallow blurred background, no worries, Photoshop to the rescue. And be sure to check out Phlearn.com, where you can find our latest pro tutorial, how to master layer styles in Photoshop. Learn how layer styles can be used to create beautiful special effects and lighting. You can place realistic text in any environment, use them to color your images, and you can even create the perfect composite and more. You can save 10% on your Phlearn Pro subscription right now with coupon code YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down below, and let's jump into Photoshop. So here's our image for today. Now you guys can download this on Phlearn.com. Just follow the link right down below. So here's the deal. We're gonna take our background and give it a nice blur. So I'm gonna start by duplicating our background, and we'll show you what's up. Let's just go to filter. We're just gonna do a regular blur right now. We'll just go to a Gaussian blur. Now, what happens if you just do a Gaussian blur on your image? Let's go ahead and hit OK and see what this looks like. Now I'm gonna lower the opacity, and you'll notice that my background, of course, gets blurred, but my subjects are also getting blurred too. Now, that's not that big of a deal, except for the fact that my subject's blur extends out past where my subjects are, right? So, for instance, if I were to just put a layer mask on this, and just try to layer mask this into where it's just visible in the background, you can see we're actually getting a glow right around where my subjects are, because the subjects are actually going to be included in the blur itself. When you just do a blur of your entire image, you're going to see it. And if you zoom out, you can really see that light halo that's right around our subject there? That's there because your subject was a part of the original image that you blurred. That's the biggest hurdle we gotta get around when we're blurring the background. We're gonna start off using the pen tool. Now, if you guys need any help with the pen tool, just go to Phlearn.com and type in pen tool into the search bar. We've got some great tutorials on how to use the pen tool super in depth. So I'm gonna start with a brief explanation, then we're gonna speed things up so you guys can see how we can get it done. So jumping back in, let's hit P for the pen tool. And now what I wanna do is basically trace around my subject. And to do this, I'm basically just clicking and dragging with the pen tool. Now, I wanna be slightly to the inside of my subject if possible. So slightly on the inside, and this is just gonna make sure that when I cut my subject out and put my subject back in, that we're not including any of the background. All right, now I'm going relatively quick here. You guys can take your time if you want to. And basically it's just kind of clicking and dragging. These smaller areas, you just want to create a few more points, just like I'm doing like this. Just click and drag kind of along, whatever object you're tracing around. In this case, it's a wedding dress, but obviously it's going to be different for every single photo. All right. And when you get to a place that has a little bit larger curve, you can create points that are a little bit farther apart. So that's basically the idea with the pen tool. You're just kind of creating these points, just kind of click and drag. Now, if you ever need to change direction, just hold Alt or Option and grab this little point right there, pull it up, and that's gonna allow you to change direction. In this case, that worked really well for that area around our subject's neck. All right, or that's not her neck, that's her arm. Look, let's go right up to about there. There we go, and we're gonna go right up to there. And again, we've got one more change in direction, so hold Alt or Option, grab that little guy, and pull that straight up. Now, if you need to move a point, just hold Control or Command and click on that point, and you can move it at any time. And if you guys need help with the pen tool, just go to Phlearn.com and search for pen tool. Now, we're gonna speed things up a little bit so you guys don't have to watch me do this for the next 20 minutes. So we've got our pen path going all the way around our subjects. Now I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate our background layer. I'm gonna right click here inside of my pen path with the pen tool, make selection, and we're gonna feather that by 0.5 pixels, hit OK, and then we're just gonna click on our layer mask icon. So that selection that we just made with our pen tool now is loaded into our layer mask. So for instance, if I grab my move tool and just move this around, you can see literally we just have a copy of our subjects. Now you'll notice because I use the pen tool, which has a relatively hard edge, we're not seeing little areas like these hairs in our selection, but we're gonna show you how to fix that in just a second. So let's go ahead and move that back to where it was to start with. Okay, so we have on this layer, basically it's just our subjects. We have our background layer. Okay, let's go ahead and give these layers names. Okay, we're gonna double click here. We're gonna call this original. All right, and now I need a layer to go ahead and blur to create my beautiful blurred effect. So let's duplicate our background layer one more time, and I'm gonna just call this blur. So here's the proper workflow. You want your original layer, because you don't ever wanna destroy your original layer. Go ahead and keep that just in case. Then you want another, basically just a duplicate of that, that's gonna be called blur. And then you wanna get a layer here that's gonna be just your subjects, and that's gonna have a layer mask. So now it's time to go ahead and do the blur. But remember earlier when we did the blur and it included our subjects, it actually blurred our subjects as well. So even if you had it masked, you would still see a little bit of a halo or a little bit of a glow around where your subjects are. So what we need to do first is we need to remove our subjects from this blur layer. And in order to do that, we're gonna use the spot healing brush tool. It's actually really easy. So let's go ahead and make our subject layer invisible. We're on our blur layer now. And I'm gonna grab my spot healing brush tool. And really here, all I have to do is paint right over my subjects. And Photoshop is gonna do a really good job. It's gonna pull information from the background and put it right over top of your subject. So we'll start with just my subject there. That looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead down this area here as well. I recommend not trying to do your entire subject at the same time. Maybe just do like one area and then do another area again. All right, that looks pretty good. Now also keep in mind that this is all gonna get blurred, right? So even if it's not like the perfect example, it's gonna get a pretty big blur on it, so everything's gonna work out. All right, the top half of our subject. Spot healing brush tool makes this way easy, by the way. All right, and if areas mess up, like the top half of our subject was just his head still, just paint over it. Spot healing brush tool to the rescue. All right. So if you ever just want to get rid of people in a photo, just grab the spot healing brush. Okay, so now here's what we've got. We've got our subject, or our blur layer without our subjects. We've got our subjects back in our photo, and we are ready to go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that background layer and turn it into a smart object. That way, if we don't love the blur that we apply to it, we can change this blur at any time. Let's go ahead and click here on our background. Okay, there's our background. We're gonna right click and gonna go to convert to smart object. So your blur layer, you wanna make that a smart object, super important. Let's go ahead and apply our blur. Now, to get to your advanced blurs, you're gonna go to filter, blur gallery, and we're gonna choose the tilt shift blur. And this is gonna allow us to blur even more as we get further back in space. Let's go ahead and take our center point, and I'm gonna bring this right down to the bottom of our photo. Okay, let's bring our midpoint up to right about there, and we're gonna bring our top line right up there. Now, from here, you can actually adjust your blur. So as I adjust my blur, there we go, you're gonna see that our background gets more and more blurred. Now let's go ahead and choose a pretty strong blur and go ahead and show you what it looks like when you move your midline. So basically this is like your safe zone here, okay? So from your central point to your first line, that's your safe zone. And then from here to here, that's where it's gonna blur. And you'll notice it blurs more as it gets towards this dotted line. All right, so something right about there looks pretty good. Now, of course, you can choose to have a super big blur if you want, but chances are that's not gonna look super realistic. So we're gonna keep things on the realistic side here. Let's go ahead and bring that down and then bring that point back up. Really important here, I do recommend adding grain, at least 30% grain to your noise. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. At least 30% grain, because without any grain, it just looks real fake and Photoshoppy. Okay, so to match this, let's go to about 20%. That's looking pretty good there. So I do recommend having 20%, and you can leave all your other settings just like they are. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Now, as you can see, it applies that blur to my blur layer. Really, really nice. Now, if you want to change this blur at any time, you can do so just by double-clicking on your blur filter. For instance, you could just click right here on your blur gallery, go ahead and double-click there, and check it out. You can change this blur at any time. So that's why I recommend using a smart object. All right, let's go ahead and escape this out. We're looking really good. Now, the last thing I need to do is get back some of this information here, right? Where we had all the little hair detail and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate our original layer. All right, we'll just call this hair detail. Now I'm gonna put this on the top of everything. Now, you'll notice that like all the little hair details and things like that, they're lighter than my background. So I'm gonna use a lighten blend mode, and that's basically gonna make anywhere that's dark not visible and just keep the light areas visible. So let's change this from normal down to lighten. There we go. And here, I'm just gonna pop a layer mask on there and then paint white on my layer mask. So here, look at that. We're just getting back that light detail from the hair, and because our background is a little bit darker, it's just going to keep that hidden. So it allows us to get a really, really nice realistic effect while still having a really well blurred background. There we go. And let's go ahead and make sure that we have the hair here as well. All right, perfect. Now, if you need a little bit of a blurred line, you'll notice here where our subjects are, the original photo had a little bit more of a blurred line around your subject. So you can actually click on your layer mask itself. Let's unlink our layer in our layer mask so I can edit just my layer mask. I'm gonna go to my blur tool. Let's go ahead and choose our strength of 100%. We wanna uncheck sample all layers, and now I'm able to paint this on, and check this out. I'm not actually blurring my photo, I'm blurring my layer mask. So let's hit undo and redo and show you guys how that works. So if I hold Alt or Option, you can see here, I'm literally just blurring the edge of my layer mask. So if you come to an area in your photo that you've cut out, but it's like, oh man, this edge is just a little bit too sharp or a little bit too hard of an edge, not a big deal. Just grab this blur tool and go ahead and paint right over top of the layer mask. There we go. Just make sure you unlink your layer and your layer mask. And you can see I'm blurring the edge, and now we're getting a much more realistic result because our subject is slightly out of focus. So if we had a subject that was slightly out of focus with a really super hard, well-defined edge, it really wouldn't look that real. All right, so that's why it's super important to get in here and to blur that edge. All right, well, there we have it, guys. We are looking really, really good. We'll put a little bit of a blur right around here as well. Let's make sure to bring back that original hair detail, and here we have it. So let's go ahead and take a look at our before and our after. Here's our before and the after. So there we have it. Now, if you want to follow along with me, just go to Phlearn.com. You can actually download the same image. Just follow the link in the description right down below. You're a wonderful person. You're a beautiful person. You're a happy, smiley, great individual, and it's been great hanging out with you. I'll flirt you later. Bye, everyone.